Hello, welcome back to my channel. Listen, there's something you need to hear, and you need to hear it now, because while you're sitting there wondering whether she still thinks about you, she's somewhere replaying moments she never admitted meant anything. And the crazy part, she hides it even from herself. Women do that. They bury the truth under logic, under pride, under this fake calm exterior that looks like she's moved on. But if you pay attention to the subtle cracks in her behavior, you'll know she hasn't. She can't. Not when a man impacts her deeply enough. Not when she felt something real. And trust me, if she did, she's thinking about you far more than she'll ever let the world see. You know what? No one tells you. Women don't think about you nonstop because you were perfect. They think about you because you made them feel something they aren't feeling anywhere else. Maybe it's the way you talked. Maybe it was your silence. Maybe it was the way you walked away when she expected you to stay. Women don't obsess over men who chase them. They obsess over men who made them question themselves. And if she's thinking about you, there's always a moment that triggered it. A gap you left in her life that she can't fill. No matter how hard she tries to pretend, you've seen the signs, even if you don't want to admit them. She randomly views your story after weeks of silence. She asks mutual friends harmless little questions about you. She posts something that feels accidentally directed at you. This isn't coincidence. Women communicate indirectly when they're torn, when their heart is louder than their ego, and you, without realizing it, are still living in that space inside her mind she thought she could lock down. But memories don't disappear just because people pretend they're fine. Do you want to know the real truth? A woman thinks about you nonstop when she feels unfinished. When she feels like she didn't get the closure she expected, when she imagines life with you in tiny flashes she can't fully erase. Women replay conversations in their head like movies. They analyze tone, silence, timing. If she's thinking about you, she's replaying the last moment you two shared, not because she wants to torture herself, but because she's trying to understand what she lost or what she hopes she can get back. And here's the part most men don't realize. Even when she's acting cold, even when she's posting happy selfies, even when she's pretending she's glowing without you, she might still be thinking about you every single night. Women don't show the truth. They protect it. They hide their feelings out of fear of looking weak. And if she's thinking about you, she's fighting that battle inside her. The battle between I miss him and I can't let him know. But you want to know the most important signal of all. It's the one she doesn't control, her emotional reactions. If your name still sparks irritation, nervousness, curiosity, or even subtle anger, brother, she's not over you. No woman feels deeply about a man she forgot. Indifference is the real goodbye. Anything else is proof you still exist in her heart. And right now she might be scrolling through old messages she swore she'd never look at again, wondering if you miss her, wondering if you've changed, wondering if letting you go was a mistake she can't undo. Because when a woman truly felt something for you, her mind never fully lets you go. There's a moment every man overlooks. The moment when a woman starts feeling your absence more than she ever felt your presence. It doesn't happen right away. At first, she's confident, she's stubborn. She tells herself she's doing the right thing by stepping back, distancing, or letting things end. She even convinces herself she's fine. But then something shifts, something small, something quiet. She hears a song that reminds her of you. She walks past a place you two once joked about. She sees a guy wearing the same fragrance you used, and suddenly her chest tightens in a way she didn't expect. That's when the thoughts begin. Not because she chose them, but because emotions don't ask permission. You see, women feel deeply, but they process slowly. They don't break down immediately. They don't confess the truth in the moment. They reflect. They replay. They realize too late what they had, what they lost, and what they can't replace. And when she starts thinking about you nonstop, it's almost always triggered by a memory she can't escape. Something that snaps her out of her pride and forces her to sit with the truth. And that truth is simple. You mattered more than she admitted. But here's where it gets interesting. Women don't think about men who brought nothing to their emotional world. If she's thinking about you, it means you created contrast in her life. You showed her a version of herself she liked more, or you awakened something in her she wasn't ready to face. Maybe you challenged her. Maybe you were the one person who didn't fold. Maybe you made her feel seen in a world where everyone else treats her like background noise. That kind of impact doesn't fade. It echoes. And the signs they hide in the subtle behaviors. She'll be distant yet curious. She'll ignore your messages, but watch every story you post. She'll act like she's moved on, but she'll get jealous over things she shouldn't even care about. She'll pretend she doesn't remember small details, then accidentally mention something she shouldn't still know. Because when a woman thinks about you nonstop, her emotions leak through the cracks she tries so hard to seal. Do you know why she doesn't reach out? It's not because she doesn't want to. It's because she's afraid of opening a door she can't close. She's afraid you'll reject her. She's afraid you'll treat her the way she treated you. Women are emotional strategists. They calculate the risk of vulnerability. And if she still thinks about you, that risk terrifies her. She wants to talk to you, but her ego whispers. Don't be the one who breaks first. So instead of speaking, she observes. Instead of reaching out, she waits. Instead of admitting she misses you, she convinces herself she shouldn't. But her heart betrays her. Late at night, when she's alone with her thoughts, that's when your name hits her hardest. That's when she rereads old conversations. That's when she wonders what you're doing, who you're seeing, who you're becoming without her. Women don't admit this because vulnerability feels dangerous. But male impact, emotional impact, that leaves a mark she can't erase, no matter how strong she pretends to be. And whether she says it or not, if she's thinking about you nonstop, part of her still believes the story between you isn't finished. Not yet. There's a certain truth men rarely understand until much later. And by the time they finally grasp it, the woman who once cared for them has already built a world of silent emotions around his absence. When a woman starts thinking about you nonstop, she doesn't begin with longing. She begins with resistance. She tries to fight it. She tries to stay strong. She tries to convince herself that she's better off without you. But the mind can only lie for so long. Eventually, her heart exposes what her ego tried to bury. And that's when the spiral begins quietly, slowly, invisibly. It usually begins with irritation, not sadness, not heartbreak, irritation, because thinking about you annoys her when she's trying so hard not to. She'll remember something small you said. She'll recall a moment where you made her laugh without even trying. She'll think about the way you looked at her like she mattered, and suddenly she's frustrated because she doesn't want to feel anything anymore. Yet here she is, replaying things she swore she'd forgotten. That frustration is the first real sign you still hold space in her heart, even when she wishes you didn't. Then comes curiosity, the most dangerous stage of all. She'll wonder what you're doing now. She'll think about whether you changed, whether you miss her, whether you've moved on, or if you still think about her the same way she's been thinking about you. She might check your profile at late hours when she assumes you won't notice. She might scroll through old photos, not because she wants to relive the past, but because she's trying to understand why her heart keeps circling back to you. And if she sees something that stirs her emotions, a new picture, a confident caption, a sign that you're growing, she'll feel something sharp inside her chest. It's not jealousy alone, it's fear. Fear that she lost a man who's becoming better without her. Fear that someone else might now receive the version of you she always wished you'd become. Fear that the door she left open in her heart for you is closing from the other side. But the moment she knows she's in trouble is when she starts comparing other men to you. She won't say it out loud, but she'll notice that no one speaks like you did. No one understands her the same way. No one triggers the same emotional intensity. Women don't compare unless they care. And if every new guy feels dull, predictable, or uninteresting compared to you, then she's not just thinking about you, she's stuck on you. What really seals it is the shift in her dreams. Yes, dreams. Women often dream about the men they haven't emotionally released. You'll appear in unexpected ways, not always romantically. Sometimes you'll just show up looking at her, standing near her, watching her. Her subconscious speaks the truths her waking mind tries to silence. And when she wakes up with your name lingering in her thoughts, she finally realizes something she never wanted to admit. She's not over you, not even close. And the more she tries to hide that truth, the stronger it becomes until thinking about you turns from an occasional memory into a constant echo. She won't reach out or admit anything. Yet in the quiet moments she controlled, your presence still returns. That's proof she hasn't released you, no matter how strong she tries to seem. Here's the reality that almost no man truly grasps. When a woman is thinking about you nonstop, it's not just nostalgia, it's unfinished emotional business. She didn't just lose you, she lost a version of herself that only existed when you were around. A part of her identity was tied to the way you made her feel, the way you responded, the way your presence shifted her entire world. That part doesn't disappear just because you left, and until it's confronted, she can't stop thinking about you. You notice it in the details, the subtle, almost invisible behaviors that seem like nothing at first glance. She remembers the songs you shared, the little inside jokes, even the way you walked in a room. She recalls what you said about the future, not because she wants to manipulate it, but because she's trying to make sense of the emptiness you left behind. That's why even the smallest things trigger her mind. A smell, a place, a tone of voice in someone else. It's like her subconscious is constantly testing whether you still exist in the world, whether the void is real or imagined. And when she realizes it is real, that's when the thoughts spiral. Men often think that if she's distant, she's moved on. That's the biggest mistake you can make. Distance isn't detachment. Silence isn't closure. Ignoring you, even publicly, is her attempt to protect her ego from admitting she still feels, still misses, still obsesses. Because let's be honest, thinking about a man nonstop can feel humiliating, vulnerable, out of control. Pride keeps her from texting, calling, or showing her emotions. But your presence lingers every single day in ways she can't verbalize. And if you pay attention to her actions, you'll see cracks forming. She'll make excuses to be where you are. She'll ask mutual friends harmless questions about you. She'll comment indirectly on posts you make, even if she pretends it's casual. These are not coincidences. These are the signs of a mind consumed, a heart still tethered, a woman who cannot reconcile her feelings with the story she's telling herself. And the more she resists, the more intense the thoughts become. There's also a psychological truth few understand. Women think in layers. Even when she's outwardly engaging with someone new, her subconscious is running endless simulations of what life would be like with you. What would have happened if she had said yes more often? What would she do differently now? How would you react to this change in her life? These are not idle thoughts. They are manifestations of unresolved emotions, and the intensity of these thoughts grows when the mind realizes it cannot replace what you represented. Finally, the truth you need to hear as a man is this. If she's thinking about you nonstop, she's still emotionally invested in you in ways she cannot articulate. She's processing her mistakes, her choices, her regrets, and the life she imagined with you. Every glance, every memory, every fleeting emotion points back to you. And even if she never reaches out, even if she never admits it, her mind remains occupied by you because no one else has created the same space. No one else has triggered the same emotional depth. That's the power you unknowingly hold. And that's the truth she can't hide. Not from herself and not from you. Now listen closely, because this is where most men get it wrong. You've heard about signs, signals, and subtle behaviors, but none of that matters if you don't understand the emotional core behind them. If she's thinking about you nonstop, it's not about ego, control, or manipulation. It's about emotional imprint. You left one. Deep, unshakable, unforgettable. And no matter how strong she pretends to be, no matter how many distractions she throws at herself, that imprint pulls her thoughts back to you every day, every night, without fail. It shows up in ways that seem random, but they're anything but. She might reach for her phone and catch herself typing your name, then delete it. She might recall a moment you shared and smile only to scold herself for feeling it. She might engage with someone new, yet every interaction is measured against the standard you set. Women do this subconsciously. Their mind is a web, and your presence is a thread that refuses to be cut. If she's thinking about you nonstop, that thread is still alive. And here's the key. Women rarely unweave threads willingly. And let's not sugarcoat it. This obsession isn't always romantic in the sense men assume. It's emotional. She's not just replaying kisses or moments in bed. She's replaying your conversations, the way you made her feel alive, the way you challenged her, the way you made her feel safe yet on edge at the same time. She's analyzing, reinterpreting, comparing, and imagining countless scenarios where things went differently. The deeper the impact you made, the more she spirals, the more she thinks, the more she can't escape. That's why some men feel like they're haunting a woman. They are emotionally, psychologically. Even when you're gone, you exist inside her mind like an unresolved chord. Here's another layer most men never grasp. Time doesn't always heal her obsession. It sharpens it. As months go by, she becomes more aware of what she lost and what she'll never replace. The longer she goes without closure, the more your memory cements itself as the standard. And when she stumbles upon moments that remind her of you, the emotional punch is stronger than ever. She can pretend, she can posture, she can engage elsewhere. But when night falls and the world quiets, your presence returns like clockwork. This is the power of a man who truly mattered in her life. Not everyone gets that. Most don't even recognize it until years later. So what should you do with this knowledge? Not everyone is meant to reach out. Not everyone should intervene. This is about understanding human behavior, understanding her psychology, and understanding your impact. Recognizing that a woman who's thinking about you nonstop isn't indifferent or cruel. It's proof you're unforgettable, proof that you left a mark. Proof that she still holds a piece of her life for you. And once you realize this, you hold the ultimate advantage, awareness. You know the truth that others will miss, and in that truth lies power, clarity, and choice. Now, I want you to think about this and respond honestly in the comments. Imagine she's thinking about you nonstop because of the moments you created together. If every memory she replays were worth 10 points and the mistakes she regrets were worth 5 points, what's the total score she carries in her heart about you? Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're at it, like this video, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs to understand what women really think about men they can't forget. Because understanding her mind is the key to understanding yourself. And once you see the signs, once you recognize the truth, you'll never look at a woman's silence the same way again. You'll see the thoughts behind the actions, the emotions behind the walls, and the truth she can't say aloud. She's thinking about you nonstop.